I got a little anecdote that I can throw in here at the beginning. I was at a restaurant in Ocesso, Wisconsin. I was at a TA, and I'm walking in to go get lunch. It was lunch, and big sign says, please wait to be seated. And a gentleman just starts walking past it with his wife, girlfriend, daughter. I don't know. It was the lady she was with. And the hostess stops and goes, "Sir, you need to wait to be seated." He turns and faces her and he goes, "Well, that's not how it is all the rest of the time I've come here." She goes, "Well, it's a new thing. We do it on Fridays and Sundays because we're busier." And he goes, "Well, fine, then I'm leaving," and just walks out.
Neat. Well, don't walk
That's
out.
like-
Hang on. Don't walk out.
No, it's just I was just baffled by the doubling down of ignorance. Like, you were wrong to begin with, and then when you were called out on being wrong, oh, I'm so sorry, angry and indignant for being wrong, and then stormed out. It blew my mind. It was an older gentleman, your age or so. What? Yeah. Don't stop believing?
Well, no,
maybe
hold on
we
to that
should
feeling.
Just,
maybe we should just do the intro.
Oh yeah, we can do that too.
Don't walk out on us.
No, don't walk out. Don't walk out on us. Don't be like that guy.
Yeah. Wait till the end.
Right. Then you can walk out. Then it's over.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You could do the intro.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Drake and the Maestro, almost relevant and...
Cooperate voluntarily. If you do, I give you my word that you will not be harmed or your mind's changed in any way.
Really leaning into the radio voice today.
I am. I got my radio voice. I got my radio coffee. I'm ready to go.
Your radio coffee. Is that along with your radio head?
Hey, radio is powered by coffee and something.
And lack of good looks.
Well, and it used to be deep pipes, but just about anybody's got radio voice.
Well, yeah, truly. Well, if you get into the train spotting, voice modulator stuff, you can do as deep as you want now.
I'm gonna do my natural. Just phlegm on the vocal cords. So this guy goes into a truck. So a guy goes into a truck stop in Wisconsin.
Right. He gets called a cheesehead. He goes, "Oh, thank you." That's it. It was just weird. It was just I couldn't fathom being that wrong in that scenario, and then instead of apologizing because the policy is different than normal and going, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize, I'm just used to walking in like normal," getting indignant and angry about it and then storming out while loudly declaring that I'm going to storm out.
Yeah. Well, you see that even in the comments in social media, right? Where people storm out of the comments and announce it.
I am going to unfollow you. It's like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks for coming, I guess.
I always have a couple of different gifts for those people. One is from Simpsons, where the overly dramatic guy storms out of the theater and gets on the bus and leaves. He's doing jazz hands and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
And the other one is from Tombstone, where the Cowboys, what's his name, Johnny Ringo, is sitting there after they shoot up the Earp gang, and the Earps Wyatt is leaving, and Johnny Ringo is just like, "Well, bye."
Oh, bye.
Anyhow, I guess that makes me almost to their level, but sometimes.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's worth calling it out. It floored me. I watched
don't you see
it
that
happen.
in traffic? You see the same attitude in traffic all the time. I mean, it leads to road rage and all kinds of stuff. It's like I'm wrong, and I'm doubling down on being wrong because I don't. What is it? Too insecure to apologize?
Well, it's like it's like a the best way I could describe it was like a toddler being told no.
Yeah, there you go.
Like a toddler reaching for candy and the parent going, "No, you can't do that." And the toddler, but why? Was that exact mentality of just I'm in poor? That's not how it is normally. It's like, yeah, but rules change and things sometimes are different, and maybe you should pay attention to your surroundings because there's a big sign there that says, "Please wait to be seated." Like normal restaurant stuff.
I'm glad you learned your lesson early.
Which lesson is that? To not be an arrogant?
About not being right and not doubling down and having a tantrum.
I feel like, I guess that's that could be a lesson to be learned. We could also just be called
everybody growing
up.
Everybody growing up has to learn that, or they should, or the world will teach them that at some point. will beat it into him. I remember a young I remember a young boy having to fit in the grocery store, leaving him there, and go to the parking lot. So, well, you're going to do that. You can just stay here.
I also remember that. I talk about it with my therapist every week.
There you go. See?
It was so traumatized. No, it was fine. I barely even remember. I remember it happening. There's no like, oh God, attached to it.
No, and I as I walked out, I went to the manager and I said, "I'm not abandoning my child. I'm just leaving. I'm just teaching him a lesson."
Unless you want him. I mean, if you want him, I can abandon him.
We can talk.
That's right. We can work out a deal here.
And no backsies.
To be young and in the early 90s again, when you could leave your kid having a tantrum in the grocery store and other parents would just go, "Yep, that's how you deal with that."
Yeah, that's right. Now it's like, you'll be up in front of a committee.
Ostracized. Yeah, or maybe even the kiddie committee.
Yeah, some kind of committee.
On the flip side of that, probably one of the funniest interactions I've heard in a store of any kind was a little girl bawling her eyes out, and her dad just looks at her and goes, "What's wrong?" And she just, in a loud voice, goes, "I don't know." I was like, I've been there. I've definitely been exactly where you are. I don't know what's wrong, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah, it's great.
She couldn't have been older than 4 or 5. It was just at that age where there isn't a filter or anything like that. It's just, I'm upset. Don't know why, but I'm upset.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll grow out of that, because could be
a problem. Could be a problem.
Could become a handful.
Could be a little high maintenance coming down the line there, but
that's what it's the beginning stages of high maintenance. But it was funny. But it was a funny, honest interaction, and sometimes kids are just upset about stuff, and it happens. Toddlers. I always look at toddlers like tiny drunk adults. They don't really know what they want. They don't really know what they're doing, and if you turn your back on them for more than 4 seconds, they'll be in the pool or setting something on fire.
Right, or setting something on fire, or standing on their head, and they'll also be pantsless for some reason.
That's right, and it's also the same as your friend's drunk brother-in-law.
Your drunk friends, right? Your drunk friends. Right. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know why they're there, and if you turn your back on them, they'll probably be in the pool pantsless. It's the same thing.
Yep. It sure is.
And they have equal amounts of swimming ability when at any given time. So it's
you Navy guys different. Out there know what we're talking about. Oh yes,
yeah,
you do.
They might be overboard. It's the world's pool, big pool in the sky. No wait. It just, I don't know, man. It blew my mind. I'm still thinking about it now. It just.
Well, you see that attitude in traffic all the time.
I do. I see that I'm wrong and. And it's not an age thing.
One of the biggest things that I've had to learn is admitting I was wrong. I mean, when I was younger,
it's hard.
I had a hard time with that because I was insecure, and my wife will tell you that I still have the same problem, and I haven't improved at all.
I was gonna say, some people would say
she
you
didn't
haven't
know when I
improved
was
at all.
young, so it was worse.
It could be worse. I could be younger.
That's right.
And even more hard-headed. I mean, I went through the same thing. I had a very hard time admitting when I was wrong.
The difference now is I'm just not wrong. So that's the difference now.
Right. Sure. See,
she's
this is what we're talking about, non-improvement.
She could listen to this episode, and there'd be some serious eye rolling.
There might be even be rolling of newspapers for disciplinary action.
Yeah, there might be.
You never know.
I'll be eating gruel for a week.
That's right. That's there's a saying about messing with the people that make your food.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. I'm also familiar with crowds for food.
I mean, maybe you should be careful there. Might end up with a news story about someone getting.
You know what they say behind every great man's a woman rolling her eyes. But why wouldn't you? Let's say you're accustomed to seating yourself all the time, right? You're accustomed to.
It's a lack of humility and a lack of situational awareness.
Yeah.
Whoever this man is, he has no situational awareness to look and adjust to new surroundings. He's used to doing things a certain way. That's the way he wants to do them. And when he is wrong and it's different than normal, he gets upset about it like a toddler because things have changed. and then he's too arrogant and self-absorbed to admit that he's wrong, so he must become the victim.
Yeah, like we call
And-
that truck driver syndrome.
Yeah, of course.
You see it. You know it.
I have never met a group of people in general that likes to kvetch about stuff more than truck drivers, except for maybe the military.
Sailors.
Well, that's what I said, the military.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the only
No,
group that's
and-
above truck drivers in just general complaining.
You know what I say about sailors and truck drivers? For every year in, they got
10 years of
they got
story.
10 years of stories for every year they're in.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But you sit at a truck
See,
stop, and all it is, if you listen to all the truck drivers, it's just complaining about traffic, complaining about their company, complaining about their dispatcher, complaining about the road quality, complaining about their truck, complaining about. It's just complaining.
Right,
It's nothing but
right.
complaining.
Right. They got sand in there, you know where. Ugh.
Right. My seat isn't as comfortable as I'd like. I got stuck in traffic for 20 minutes this morning. You wouldn't believe who cut me off earlier. And it's just that constantly.
Used to mess with them. I get a kick out. Talk about being insensitive. I used to tell them I got my new Volvo, and it has got the most comfortable seats, and the shifters just perfectly. It's like driving a sports car. I love it. It's got so much power, and
Right, it throws them for a loop when you don't complain about stuff.
Right, and the last few runs I've been on have paid exceptionally well. I think I'm going to be able to buy that new thing for my wife. And they look at you like,
Okay.
well, you must be
We're
good.
miserable, and we want to bring you with us, sir. I don't know why we're pirates, but
Well, truck drivers.
road pirates, really.
And then they just blow smoke at you and ostracize you, which I was never part of the group anyway, so I was a trucking nerd, so too bad.
I have very little to complain about. They don't ostracize me the same way, but I think I'm a little bit more boisterous than you are in most regards. So it's kind of harder to ostracize me.
I don't know what it's like today, but do they still, like if you go to the driver's lounge there's still clouds and clouds of cigarette smoke everywhere you go?
No, you're not allowed to smoke indoors in most states anymore.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The only place you'll find that now is Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to any of the truck stops in Nevada.
We used to go to the truck driver's lounge, which was kind of nice because you could sit down and do stuff. But I'm telling you, the cigarette smoke was just, man.
Well, yeah. It's not much better now, but first you have to find a truck stop with a lounge, and then you can have the lounge.
Yeah. It's changed. Things have changed.
Not necessarily even for the worse either. Eliminate.
No, I think that's better.
At least you can listen to the complaining stories.
At least you can listen to the complaining without the fog machine.
Right.
It was bad. It was fog. I mean, you walk in the movie.
Yeah.
It looked like a Cheech and Chong movie in there. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm just going to go back and put my lips on the tailpipe and inhale because that'll be better.
It'll have the same health benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It'll also give me an equally raspy voice.
It might even be healthier.
No, yeah, like I said, the
brief time in my life when I took up pipe smoking because I went to a smoke shop and I'm like, I want the nastiest smelling pipe tobacco you have.
Yeah, which is usually a black Cavendish.
I want something that resembles breeze over landfill, maybe mixed with tire fire. Tire fire, yeah. Guys like, oh, you want this? It was definitely a dark, heavy tobacco, and it'd be
black Cavendish. Black Cavendish, it's just straight. That is very stinky.
You could feel the tars in it. It was like squishy.
Good stuff.
Hard to light, hard to keep lit.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me that people who smoke cigarettes habitually, if you show up with a cigar or a pipe, that smells terrible. It's like, have you smelled what you're smoking?
Smell yourself? Yeah, right. So that's exactly what I did. I went down there, sat down in the lounge, and lit up.
When
and
I had
the room.
I got into pipe smoking as well, pipe tobacco for a while. I still do occasionally. And I got nothing but
you use the tutor now, don't you?
Well, that's more for in the truck because it's kind of hard. it's a little dangerous to be using a tobacco pipe while you're going down the road. Just a little.
Is it?
Just a tiny bit.
Okay.
I still have a cigar occasionally while I'm going down the road, but not in the new truck because the new truck company policy, yada yada yada. But
just for your listeners out there, Drake and the Maestro does not endorse the use of tobacco products.
No, not especially not if you're under 21.
Right. That's correct.
I mean, once you're a consenting adult, you do what you want, but
yeah,
we don't endorse it. We're not going to stop you either.
That's right. In fact, we can make some recommendations if you want. Just
right.
light us up
if you
in
want,
the
I'll
comments.
give you some recommendations.
Right.
But when I
we
when I
won't
was a
say
pipe
anything
smoker and I
about.
had the.
We won't say anything about Drew Estates like that.
No, none of those. No, definitely not the Java series, the green ones specifically.
Yeah, or the Swamp Things. You don't want any part of that. No.
No. You don't want any part of those. No.
Leave those for us.
Well, when I was doing it more regularly, like when I was going to work at a factory and stuff like that, I actually got a lot of compliments about it because people are like, "Oh, that reminds me of my grandfather or my dad or whatever." Because it was a more aromatic blend and it smelled tobacco. It smelled nice. It didn't smell like cigarette smoke. It smelled tobacco-y and kind of leafy and you know.
Not like what's left on the warehouse floor.
But yeah, it's because that's what cigarettes are.
Which brings up today's sponsor, Poot Waddle Cigarettes.
No, Poot Waddles.
Yeah, hang on. The announcer's going to read the ad.
Oh, okay.
Friends, have you ever smoked a Poot Waddle cigarette? Poot Waddles contain less nicotine than all the other leading brands. That's because they contain less tobacco than all the other leading brands. In recent unbiased laboratory tests by eminent throat specialists, it was found that Poot Waddles smoke more doctors than any other cigarette. Try the Poot Waddle 30-day test. Smoke Poot Waddles for 30 days, and before you know it, a month will have passed. At tobacco auctions, some manufacturers buy the lighter, the finer, the naturally milder leaves. Other manufacturers buy only the choicest tobacco. Poot Waddle is the only manufacturer that buys what's left on the warehouse floor. Mr. P.L. of New York used to cough like this. After smoking only one Poot Waddle, he stopped coughing. Shall we observe a moment of silence for Mr. P.L.? Get a pack of Poot Waddles today. Open the pack. Take off the cellophane, throw away the pack, light the cellophane. You can't ask for a better smoke. And remember Poot Waddle's famous jingle. Am I unvoiced? Light a Poot Waddle in your pocket. Watch it burn a hole in your coat. If it burns the cloth and lining, imagine what it would do to your throat.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There you are.
Only Poot Waddle buys what's left on the warehouse floor. Thank you, Mr. Announcer.
For those of you who are considering taking up cigarette smoking, look into how they're made before you decide.
Well, that was the thing too. When I, pipe tobacco, I'm not a smoker. And I'll have a victory stogie out hunting, which we'll get to. Some hunting this week. Yeah, but or the end of a work week, just like an aperitif, just.
Let's
something to
finalize the week.
Right. That's about it. And because anything taken to an excess
extremes.
Is weakness. Yeah. But what struck me is, okay, wait a minute. The pipe tobacco, which is probably and even cigars,
depending on the cigars.
Right. They don't stay lit. They go out.
No, you have to actively be using them or they will go out.
Right. So that tells me that even though tobacco might be roasted, dried, or whatever, it naturally doesn't stay lit. But a cigarette will burn itself all the way to the filter if you choose one with a filter. So what are they doing to it? And
I know the answer to that question.
Go ahead, lay it on us.
Okay, so cigarettes are paper. It's paper. It's not. There's no tobacco in there. It's paper that has been soaked. Basically, they take tobacco leaves and they chop them up. And they boil them, and then they spray that on paper, and then they chop that up, and that's what gets rolled into your cigarette.
Yeah, and so you're inhaling all that wonderful stuff.
With maybe some pieces of tobacco leaf that got left that fell on the factory floor while they were chopping the tobacco leaves up. Basically whatever didn't make it in the big vat to get boiled gets thrown in the cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they stay lit, is because it's paper. It's just paper, and paper will burn. Once it's lit, it'll just burn.
Well, yeah. Yep.
Whereas your tobacco, most leaves or plants have to have either some kind of accelerant or a wind or something like that to stoke.
Well, it depends. I think dry leaves, if they're dry, like the leaves that fall from our deciduous trees will burn, right?
Right,
if they're
but
dry and they don't have anything in them, I mean, they're all dried out.
Yeah, when they're all dry and crispy.
But if you take the tobacco leaf, I guess, and you make it dry and crispy and all that, then it takes all the flavor out of it. And
it does. It dries everything out of it. It dries all the water content out of it and all the nicotine and all that. And it's just a leaf.
And so
that's why you have to keep cigars.
It becomes pointless.
Right. That's why you have to keep cigars somewhat humid, or they will dry out and they'll be flavorless, hot air, basically.
Right.
And they'll burn really hot.
So that's when I started looking at it. Well, no wonder why cigarettes cause so much trouble and why they're so unpleasant to be around. Because versus a real tobacco product. Again, Drake and the Meister does not endorse tobacco use. No, we don't. I got a T-shirt. I was making a delivery to Harvard, the college, right? Harvard. So I'm making a delivery to Harvard, and I got to stop by the
gift shop.
The gift shop. The bookstore, right, which is really the gift shop.
Right.
And every college bookstore is really just the gift shop.
It's just the gift shop.
The books are obligatory. It's all the other trinkets and athletic wear and all that.
Yeah, all the athleisure wear and the branded pencils and hats and other accoutrements and knickknacks that will come with it.
Yeah. So I bought a Harvard T-shirt. And this was before the proliferation of athletic wear from whatever source you want. There was no interwebs or mail order, so you couldn't.
Well, there might have been mail order, but you had to know where to get it from.
Yeah, you had to know. It wasn't like today. You just go to your favorite search engine and just punch in, Harvard T-shirt, and it'll give you 13
and boom,
different
it'll give you
sources.
13 million different results. And,
right, most of them counterfeit, but who cares?
They're made in China.
Yeah. So usually, if you saw someone with college athletic wear back then, it's because they went there.
Yeah, they were attending,
or had family there, or whatever. So I had a lot of fun. I wore my Harvard T-shirt that I got from Harvard, and they say, "Oh, did you go to Harvard?" "Oh yeah, I went to Harvard."
I went.
And then, of course, my wife would jump in and go, "Yeah, I delivered a whole truckload of books there." Like, thanks a lot.
I went. They never said I had to graduate. They just said, "Did you go to Harvard?" Yes, I went to Harvard.
I went there. Yes, I did.
That's it. That's all they asked. They didn't ask it, did you graduate from Harvard? They said, Did you go to Harvard? Yeah, I went to Harvard.
But which the more Harvard way of asking,
that doesn't mean anything.
The more Harvard way of asking that question would be, did you attend Harvard?
Right.
Yeah, delivering a load of books isn't exactly attending, is it? No.
You're attending to the books.
Right. Well, you could spend it any way you want, but at some point you have to, like at the beginning of your story that we open our episode with, you have to say, yeah, okay, you caught me.
Yeah, you can only string someone along for so long before you got to kind of own up to what's going on.
So I don't disagree. Went out into the woods this week and to chase the furry critters around.
Did you finally decide to follow our ancient family traditions?
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
That's okay. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. Okay.
Good.
Cool.
Excellent.
So we have some woods we own, and it's been very, very good deer hunting over the years.
Yes.
And adjacent to those woods is another tract of woods owned by a farmer. And
next to the woods is more woods? Who would have thought?
On the edge of a farmer's field, and I have a long-standing hunting lease to hunt the wood line there. And I go out to put the blanks. Remember, we're building a CB shed for me to hunt out of.
Yeah, we built the CB shed. I saw the CB shed. Looks kind of like the guard shack at a county fair.
Or the psychiatrist booth in Peanuts. Remember, Lucy would sit in the booth like the psychiatrist.
Don't degrade poor Lucy like that. She had a much nicer booth than that.
No, not by much. No, but it has the look.
But
it has the look.
It definitely has a look.
I should put that. It's like that psychiatrist is in. I should put that right there on the front. Psychiatrist. Right. Just be out in the woods.
You could just stop it at Psycho. Psycho is in.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, faster and funnier.
I was trying, but you got me all sidetracked.
Sure. It's my fault.
It is. The the woods that I was going to hunt from. That we actually built the shed specifically to use there. I made a critical flaw in getting a lease to hunt the woods. A critical error.
You can't hunt them.
Farmer. Yeah, I can hunt them, but it doesn't say the farmer has to preserve the habitat.
No,
So
I was going to say, I didn't want to steal your thunder, but I was going to say you can't hunt them if they don't exist.
That's exactly what happened. That's
Yes,
exactly
you can
what
hunt
happened.
the woods. Unfortunately, they no longer exist.
You're gonna have to find them first. So
That's
shame on
right.
me for not doing periodic recon, because here I am. Well, and you're helping me. You were scrambling to get the blind done, right? And
Yeah.
I gotta so I can get it out into the woods, because we had a spot picked out. We had cultivated the area. I had over the summer, so I had
Laid
a
out some
good
corn,
spot.
some parsley, some sage, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
Can't grow a teriyaki plant of some kind, so the deer be
What do they make the teriyaki? Yeah, what do they make that out of? What do they make teriyaki out of? Is that what is that?
I don't know.
Plant of some sort.
It's soy and some fruit. Yeah.
So you got the beans already. You just got to get some kind of whatever the fruit and stuff is growing in there, and then you can get teriyaki here.
If you can catch them. So we go out. I go out and we had mowed the grass down and got a path and made it so that there was a spot at the edge of the woods to drive right up to and drop off the blind, and then had a little path so I could just take my scooter and go right over to the blind, get in the blind, and we're hunting
the blind,
right?
And hunt from the blind.
So I go out there, and we hear the neighbors like, "Hey, farmer's torn down the tree line." I'm like, what? Get out there, and sure enough, it's just big pile of dead trees and dirt, and of course mud. But it's like, all the way down to the creek. It just, the whole habitat's gone. So I'm okay.
Gonna use that.
I was going to use that. And there was even a deer there looking at me from the neighbor's tree line, which is right adjacent to ours. Well, to where
how could you righteously do this to my wood line, man?
Yeah, the deer's looking at me like, oh great, now I got to find another area for rumpus. This is
for rumpusing.
Great. Yeah.
Look what you've done to my rumpus room.
Yeah. Deer's looking. I'm looking at the deer. I'm like, I didn't do it.
What, man?
Which is another funny thing about deer. I've encountered more deer not hunting than hunting.
They know. We've had this conversation before. They know. They don't. It's. I think at this point it's genetically bred into them that they just know. Like, okay, if we see people and the weather is like this, we're good. If we see people and the weather is like this, run.
Yeah. And so I go across the road into our 18 acre and start doing some scouting, and even run into some deer. Deer are like, hey, what's up? They're like middle of the day.
They're totally chill.
And they're real chill. They're chewing on they're eating like red berries and stuff. And
whatever deer eat.
I'm like, catch you guys later. And they said, we don't think so.
And not if we see you first.
And then they were totally. And so I'm looking around. I'm looking at the deer trails. I'm checking out some of the. We got a tower blind out there, and the deer just they're hanging around. They're eating on the bush and the berries and the whatever, and they're not running away or whatever. I guarantee, if I had a weapon in my hand, gone. They would just. They wouldn't even. They wouldn't even run. They would just like. They would like dematerialize like on Star Trek. No, they are not.
They're getting beamed up to the mothership.
Right. They just disappear. You don't even see them run. They just like, boop, gone. Like,
phase out of existence. Hey, wait a minute. Come back here. I have mashed potatoes for you.
That's also how they appear in the woods, too. I swear. I've been watching a trail.
Also how they appear on the side of the road.
Yeah. They're just watching the trail vigilantly, because I know that's the main trail. And all of a sudden, bing, there's a deer. And it's closer than I would like, because you don't want them too close, because then you can't move.
Yeah, because they'll still look at you.
Which I'm getting to.
What? So that's like the deer that we saw. That's like the deer that we saw. We were coming back. This was back when Grandma and Grandpa still lived over there, and we were coming back up to the other house, and we saw the hunter's vehicle, and you could see the hunters up in the tree blind, and there's two deer standing by their truck looking at them.
Right.
And they're facing the complete wrong direction. The hunters are facing completely the wrong direction. And there's a doe and a buck just looking at them going, huh. You don't see that very often.
Yeah. It must be
Look at
that
those
time of year
guys.
again. What are you doing
Right,
later?
they're just munching on corn stalks. Just,
yeah. In fact, one year I hunted the hunters' trucks. So
just
the
like
hunters
looking
are
at the
parked.
trucks, waiting for them.
Yeah. The hunters are parked in the lane, and I'm hunting
Isn't
that
that
tree
how
line.
you ended up with some unfortunate bullet marks in your hood?
No, that was something else. I was hunting their trucks, not mine.
Oh, right.
So
well, occasionally you did have to hunt your truck down. It wasn't kill mode. Found a Prius.
That's the story for another episode. So I'm watching the tree line and waiting for deer. They're about 100 yards out. And the trucks of my cousins are parked in the lane across from where I'm hunting at about 80 yards, maybe 60. And I'm watching both because more than one time I've seen the guys park, go into the woods, and then deer come out and start sniffing the trucks. So
now, what's this
sure
thing?
enough, deer comes out sniffing the trucks, and now he's in my freezer.
Went right through the radiator.
No vehicles were injured in the harvesting of said deer. And I'm sorry if people are offended by the deer hunting, but
we eat the deer. We use the deer. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're not.
It's not head.
We
hunt
we hunt for food. We don't hunt. We don't hunt for trophy. We hunt for food.
And anybody who thinks it's easy, oh, you've got a gun. I might have a gun or a bow, but they're deer and they're in their natural habitat. Yeah. So
yeah, they blend right in. It's wild.
They have the advantage.
They've been here. For people who say, "Oh, you have a gun, it must be easy." Have you been driving down the side of a country road and all of a sudden there's a deer standing there? That's what it's like to hunt them.
Like, oh, look at that.
Right. Yeah. You're sitting there, and then in my case, the first time I went out to hunt, I'm sitting there. I don't even have a gun. I'm out there with snacks. I haven't descented or anything like that. None of the prep work associated with hunting normally. I'm out there. I got my normal deodorant on. I got normal work clothes on, whatever. And I'm up in the deer stand. I'm doing the hunter safety course. Just kind of, getting used to the idea of being out there. And I keep hearing what sounds like cattle mooing. Moo,
yeah.
I'm like, what in the world is that? So finally I get back to camp and I go, who has cattle around here? All the hunter guys look at me and go, no one. I kept hearing mooing. I'm like, that's deer. You've been hearing deer all morning? You go, yeah. We haven't seen or heard anything. It's like, well, they've been all over by me. So then we rotated hunting positions, and it happened again.
Yeah.
I'm sitting out there in the deer stand, munching on trail mix. Got squirrel bothering me, like, go away. I got the squirrel over there hitting me up for, shaking me down for snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky the raccoons didn't come by.
And the raccoon's going to shake him
trouble.
down.
Right, later, and same thing happened. I hear mooing, and now I know what it is. I'm like looking around. I'm trying to find the deer. Can't see the deer.
It's their contact.
Well, it's like, hey, what are you? What are you? What are you doing? You smell different. What is that?
What do you got for me?
What do you got for me? So that's what you've taken up my hunting strategy, apparently.
Right.
Is now you go out to the woods, you're smoking a cigar, don't descent nothing.
Uh-huh.
The deer come right
trail
to
mix. You. Yeah, they tease me.
It's like, hey, what you doing over there?
Yeah, which is where I'm getting.
Right, they tease you.
So
they come over to you, but they come in off angle, so you can't quite get a shot on them.
So here we go. So I don't know where I'm going to put. I haven't scouted. I don't know where I'm going to put my stand. I went and scouted some more. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to hunt from. So I'm just going out in my ghillie, right? And it's a ghillie poncho. It's not a ghillie suit.
You can be a bush monster.
Yeah. So I'm just like, and I'm like, it's so dry. I'm just going to drive my big powered wheelchair.
How dry is it? Sorry.
It's so dry, I can just drive my big powered wheelchair out.
Right.
Right. Rather than transferring over to my off-road scooter and all the other nonsense that I have to. Because if I use the scooter,
you just drive out there in the wheelchair with a crossbow. Just...
Yeah, exactly. With my ghillie poncho, and
you would look like a bush just traveling across the land.
Well, those are the pictures I sent to you. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I got a couple of really heavy trails that are crisscrossing, and buck A buck will walk perpendicular to doe trails, looking at the scent and kind of keeping track on where all the does are up to and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is perfect because I got these trails going north-south. Those are the doe trails, and I got trails that are going east-west. Those are the buck trails. So I put myself at like Trail Central.
At Deer Crossroads.
Yeah.
Did you go down to the crossroads, try to make a deal with the devil to get like Paganini's skill at the violin? But I guess you're at the Deer Crossroads, so you'd be like the Deer Devil.
Kind of, right. Only the devil hadn't been.
You get really good at the violin, but only 2 notes at a time, because they got the cloven hooves.
Right. So I'm going down there, and a couple of days, and I see, well, the first day, like you were saying, they're behind me in rather thick brush. There's a deer.
Right.
And I only see like little bits of fur and an eye, and I'm like, I'm not shooting into that. That's just not happening.
It's trying to figure out why there's a bush there suddenly overnight.
Oh, right. No, that's right. It's like, hey, whoa, that smells different too. Do I want to try to eat that?
Is that
but
edible?
It would have been. I would have had to turn myself way around and shoot over my shoulder, and with the crossbow.
Unfortunately, you're not Hawkeye, so you can't just
Well, yeah, I cannot identify the target. I see bits and pieces of it. It's not ethical because I can't.
It's not a safe. It's not a safe shot. It's not because it could be.
None
it could be someone's deer. It could be someone's horse.
Well, it's all right, lady. It's a deer. Let me get my.
It's a deer. Let me saddle off it. Yeah. You don't know.
No.
It could be a really big Saint Bernard. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know, and
always be sure of your target and what's behind it.
Without being able to see, because the arrow, the bolt is going to go through. The bolts go all the way through.
Right, it's going through.
Come out the other side.
You don't want to have like little Timmy is next to the deer because it's his lifelong friend or something.
Or he's standing in front of the neighbor still, and then boom, who knows?
Right, boom, right. Who knows?
So I can't see the silhouette of the deer, so I don't know where my target zone is either. So I could only wound it, and then now I don't have a deer, and there's a wounded animal out there. No, I'm just not. I'm just going
it'll run out in front of somebody's Chevy Caprice. It'll be terrible.
So I let it pass, and that was that. So I'm like, okay, next day. I don't always see them on the same trail. So that trail was behind me. It was still the north. That means they're probably going to come in front of me the next day. So great. So I went back to the same spot. So here I am. Like I parked my red van and drop the wheelchair lift, get on the chair, get my crossbow out, get everything ready to go, and the bush wheels himself into the woods. Now that day, nothing but squirrels, and at least I had my woodland zen going because I had the squirrels crawling on me, I had the birds landing on me, and I had a cardinal land on me and was tweeting. I don't know what he was.
Hey, I know you're not a bush. Hey.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. Because the cardinals make that cheep, cheep.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
The pileated woodpecker showed up. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, you
gotta
watch out for the woodpecker because if he thinks you're too much of a tree, you might end up with a new hole in your head.
Yeah, well, it might help. You don't know.
Help with the ventilation.
So, I was able to get in there. I saw a lot of cool nature. It was fun seeing all the different critters. But I can tell you this: any hunter that comes out and goes, I was happy just to be in the woods and be part of nature and all that. That is the song of disappointment. It is neat to be out there and see all the critters and everything. But
yeah, it's really cool. But
it's the consolation prize. It's not.
Yeah.
Not the goal.
Yeah, you kind of feel like a Disney princess for a few minutes. All the woodland creatures are all around you,
Right.
If they start singing is a problem.
Yeah, you know what? That happened. But I want to talk about
We don't talk about that time.
I'm going out the next day, and I'm kind of excited because I'm going to go down this trail that I've seen, and I've seen deer at the end of this trail. And so it looks like it's wide enough.
This trail?
It looks like it's wide enough and packed down enough. So I'm driving. Now, I'm wearing a poncho.
No, wait. Before we get into this, is this a Georgia story? Did we not learn from others' mistakes? It looks okay. You're gonna go down it anyway.
It was almost yes, that's correct.
Okay. I could feel the similarities, and I'm like, I wonder.
So I'm going down the trail. I'm doing fine, right? No, and
until
right.
You're not.
So that's the thing. When good isn't good enough. So I got down the end of the trail. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. I can see clearly where they were coming from. I can see another trail, right? And it's in the
Right.
area where I have seen them. Like I should just sit right here. But do I listen to myself? No, because I say,
No.
oh, I could get if I just move over here into a little cover, I could be more concealed, right? So I go. What did I do? I go off the trail, okay? And off the trail are a bunch of burrowing insects. I don't know if they were termites or ants or whatever, but they had churned up the soil. So I sunk down into it like it was sand.
Cool. So it's good to know. It's good to know that not listening to your instincts is a family trait.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. So
it runs
then
in the
I'm like,
blood.
well, I'm still, but now wait. I'm still pointed in the right direction. I'm like, you know what? I could just hunt right from here, and I am in better concealment, and I'll worry about getting my wheels unstuck later.
Yeah.
Right. So I got to get unstuck now. So what's really holding me up is, in the power wheelchair, you got the swinging casters on the bogies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the bogies that helps stable
so
stability.
Right, make ride better, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of a nice deal because you've got a drive wheel in the center and then the outrigger bogies. It's almost like they're set it up for a track. You could run a clever fellow could build a track to run across all those wheels.
Yeah, probably. Except for the bogey swivel.
I'm that clever fellow. Right. Well, you take away the swivel and you just set them. Anyhow, well, I was like I maneuvered myself and shifted myself in the chair and got the bogies to move, and I got myself up out of the hole. I'm like, ooh, I'm free. So now if I could just angle myself over here so I go forward off the trail, it'd sink in even deeper.
You just can't learn, can you? You got yourself out, and you didn't just go, okay, cool, right here. You know what? So I don't feel so bad now for getting stuck in Georgia, because at least I had the smarts to go, you know what? I'm just stopping now while I'm ahead. I'm going for the ditch. I'm going right into the ditch. I might as well just stop now. They can pull me out with the tow truck. You, on the other hand, went, yeah, hey, I got myself out. Let me get stuck over there.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what I did. So
just gonna go over here now. Oh crap!
There had to have been a deer watching and laughing.
Oh, so probably several. There were probably several deer watching and going, hey, look at this idiot.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to figure out why the bush is making weird whirring noises and occasionally moving around funny.
And as you know, I can, I'm not completely bound to the wheelchair. I can get up and move a little bit. It's just long term I have trouble. So I get up, get down, just kind of lay back on the chair around. and
the rhythm
reverse it, get the bogies straightened out, and I got out again.
All
right.
Now, did we learn from our lessons?
Well, I think we did. But on the other hand, I should have just stayed right where I was. I should just, I'm out. I can still, and then I started, so this is where you get in your own head and you screw yourself up. Okay.
No, this is where it wasn't the first time, which is when I would have gotten my own head.
There's more. Just wait. There's more.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Okay, Ron Popeil, hit me.
So I'm getting way too far in my own head. Nietzsche said your first instinct is usually the correct one. Well, I should have followed it because I'm pretty much back where I was when I first drove out there, looking down this crisscross, these two other trails, and it's being able to see all the way down. I got a clear view down this trail for probably 50, 60 yards, right?
Good
and
trail.
That's where I saw the deer last time, but it's only one trail. Where I was before, there was about half a dozen trails. So by the numbers, I should go hunt the area where there are all the crisscrossy trails where I was before.
Oh.
But I didn't see any deer there, right? So I'm in my own head. I'm like, well, this is only one trail, and I'm basically all I'm looking at are leaves everywhere.
There's only one avenue right past where you are.
Yeah, I know.
So statistically speaking, you'll see more deer on the one trail.
Wait for it. So I'll just go back to where I was hunting the other day because basically, if you aren't tracking, then you're hunting an area that you scouted, and it's just a matter of running the numbers. You put the time in out in the woods, and eventually they come by, right? So I'm like, well, I'm restarting the clock in this new location. I've been out at the other place, so I go back to the other place. Now I'm trying to get myself situated in the other place. Now there's been a problem There's a problem with the poncho, shall we say.
So there's definitely a problem.
Oh, there's a problem. But the poncho is quite long, right? And I'm seated. So that means the poncho can touch the ground, right? And while I've been traveling around, I've made sure the poncho was all bundled up and, around my lap and my back so that it's not dragging the ground. But all the shifting and moving and trying to get the wheelchair unstuck, that is now, it has now come out and it's dragging the ground. So then I go to reverse to go into the concealed place I was before. The poncho catches the drive wheel, yanks me back in the seat, and I'm now being choked by my own ghillie suit. It was
Hunter
bad.
dies choking on own ghillie suit. Right.
So then I'm like, oh crap! So I hit the joystick to go forward, and it must have wrapped itself. So
it makes it worse.
It makes it worse. It's like I can't go back, I can't go forward.
At that point, you just got to get yourself out of the ghillie suit.
Well, I am reaching for my knife because I'm like, I got to cut myself out of here before I lose consciousness. It was serious.
Oh, I bet.
So I was like, wait, before I cut myself, cut it and do all that desperate stuff because things are starting to gray in a little bit. I'm gonna hit the other joystick and use just the one motor on the other side. And it spins me around. It spins me around, and the other wheel lets go. I'm like, I'm like, should I just go back? Should I just go back now and just say?
I think I'm calling it for today.
Yeah, declare the woods. You win. I'm out of here.
Meanwhile, there's a deer pointing and laughing you in the background, like,
okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is. Like I said, there's more. So I get myself set up. Everything calms down, the woods quiet down, and then I hear the footfalls of a deer. And where's that deer? It's on the trail I abandoned. That's where.
Of course.
So I turn myself around. I can't quite get a shot up there. So I turn myself around to look, and it's an awkward shot. It's the same problem I had before. The deer's in too much cover, but I can see more of him this time, and it's the biggest buck I've ever seen.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, come on.
That's the buck that's been watching you for the past 3 hours.
It is
just
because he was
coming out.
He stood
going. Hey, you're right.
I saw.
Do you need help?
Was his head. It was his head and his neck, right? And he's looking.
Showing you what he would look like mounted on the wall.
It is. It's about when you get. It's right. But no, you have to be an idiot. Get out of your head next time.
Hey, stupid! Look over here. Just runs away.
So he stands there and he starts eating the leaves and the berries, and I'm like, this buck's only about 25 yards away, but I got no shot. I cannot. I just don't.
He knows you have no shot because he didn't get that big by being dumb.
Right. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and watch. I'm done. I concede. This is it. I've seen my error of my ways. I give up. Yeah. I'm done. Yeah, and the sun's going down,
Right. Just gonna lie down here.
It was
for
definitely
a minute.
sunset. That's right. So here I'm cut. I'm not dead. I haven't choked to death on my own hunting gear, so I guess I call that a win.
Yeah, I definitely call that a win.
And there's a squirrel, barking at me, and it's like,
doing its little chitter.
It was like a Disney movie, except instead of singing, all the animals were laughing.
They're mocking you. Yes,
that's right.
Rightfully so. I feel like you kind of deserved it that time. Yes. Not to victim blame here, but I feel like maybe, just maybe, after getting stuck in a hole the first time, and you didn't go, you know what? Because that's where I'm at. In my life, that's where I'm at. I get not a minor inconvenience, because that's not a minor. Your wheelchair's stuck. That's not a minor inconvenience. Tripping over your own feet, that's a minor inconvenience. Choking on air, that's a minor. Your whole wheelchair is stuck. And I'd just be like, you know what? I'm going to get this out. I'm going to go sit right there, and I'm just going to sit right there until my hunting time is over. And then if I don't see anything, I don't see anything.
Well, and
I would not have gotten that far into it.
That was my first instinct too. And had I been there, I would have seen that buck on an approach, and there would be meat in the freezer and a trophy on the wall.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe that buck never would have shown up.
You don't know.
It was probably drawn in by all the noises you
I'm
were
sure
making.
it was. I'm sure it was.
Oh, what's all that ruckus over there? Go check that out. That sounds like something that could be interesting.
Yeah, that's something.
Meanwhile, you're fighting with your life with your own hunting gear.
Oh,
Bucks
that would've been-
over in the background, just like, that's neat. You don't see that very often. Hunter taking himself out,
At
That's
least
a rare one.
it'd be an obituary worth reading.
Yeah, I wouldn't write it because I don't even know what I would say. Like, yeah, he was a dork. He got himself with his own hunting gear while his giant buck watched.
Oh my! So
I
the
just-
sun goes down. I'm like, I'm out of here. I went back, got my van. I'm done.
Both in your mind and in the real world.
That's right.
The sun is down.
At that point, I'm questioning whether or not I should be even trusted with a weapon. At that point, it's like, idiot.
I'm starting to question several things here. The deer was definitely questioning you. For sure.
I was you know what? The woodland creatures were entertained. So, not a total loss.
No.
Hey, the buck was probably talking to, hey, when's that guy coming back? That was great. I didn't know we had
I'd pay to see
performance art
that.
out here. Yeah.
Right.
Is that a one night? Is that a one night
Was
only?
that a modern? Yeah. Did
was that-
I get the end of a modern art show? What was that?
Yeah.
What was
Can I
he
see that again?
protesting? I don't understand.
It makes no sense.
I gotta see it again. I just gotta see it. I gotta understand what he's trying to say. You think he went back to his dear buddies and had some kind of like existential crisis about you, like watching what was happening?
Yeah, maybe. I'll find out when I go back, right? If there's a deer committee when I enter the woods.
Yeah, like an intervention.
We got questions.
Listen. We're not here to judge you. We're here to make sure you're okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Well,
Okay.
that's new.
All right. You'll get all gillied up and go out there, and there's like there's high-rise tables with chairs and a bar.
Right. Well, yeah, we're not here to judge you. Okay.
We're here to help you because we care about you and your safety. Meanwhile, there's another deer coming up from like the side, like reaching for the crossbow.
Well, I guess so. Everything's okay here. Oh yeah, I'm fine. It's all out. Then we all have to punch the card, go on the clock, and go into the woods and play our roles like the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Like the old guns with the sheepdog and the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Morning,
Same
Frank.
time again next
Morning,
week,
Carl.
Frank. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Ka-ching. Yeah, so I guess on that note, it's time to wrap this up. And
Yeah, for sure.
If I make it back to the woods, we'll keep everybody posted. So I want to thank all the new subscribers for subscribing.
Can we get the deer on as a guest?
I'll try that. I'll see if during the intervention if
see
they
it.
want to. I might have to do
we'll
a
have to see
recorded
him.
interview. Yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we had pre-recorded interview. I want to get his thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, I would like to as well.
Trying to keep him from eating the microphone this time.
Right. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time with more of whatever this is. And adios.
Adios.
Adios, muchachos, compañeros, when you get out of here.
Garbage, pure garbage. That's what this is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is, but it's our garbage. And this is our pile, and these are our beans.
That's right. Oh, my oily rags.
Ah, but this is our hill, and these are our beans. No, it was just the craziest thing. I cannot get over that.
That's so funny. It's just so funny. Just the deer just watching you choke yourself. Deer's looking at you through the trees like, what's wrong with him? Is he okay?
Ooh. Well, that took a dark turn.
Well, safe word's pineapple.